for being here. As you settle in, allow your body to rest and your breathing to slow. Gently close your eyes or let them soften as you take a slow, deep breath in and release it softly, like a sigh carried away by the night. There is nothing you need to do now, nowhere you need to go, no thoughts you need to hold on to. This is a quiet journey, a peaceful drift back through time, far beyond memory, far beyond written words, to the very earliest whispers of human belief. Tonight we will move slowly, so slowly, through the Paleolithic world, the longest chapter of human existence, a world of stone tools and open skies, of ice and fire, of animals moving across vast landscapes, and humans who lived close to the rhythms of nature. This is not a story of kings or cities, but of small groups gathered around firelight, listening to the wind, watching the stars, and perhaps beginning to wonder about life, about death, about the unseen forces moving through the world around them. Let your mind drift back hundreds of thousands of years ago to a time when belief had no name, no temples, no scriptures, only feeling, gesture, and quiet reverence. This video is designed to help you relax, to slow your thoughts, and gently guide you towards sleep while exploring what archaeology allows us to glimpse of humanity's earliest spiritual awareness. Nothing here will rush you, nothing will startle you. Everything unfolds softly, like footsteps fading into sand. So rest now and let us begin. Let your mind drift even farther back to the deep past, so deep it feels almost dreamlike. The Paleolithic era, the Old Stone Age, began more than 2 million years ago and stretches all the way to about 10,000 years before the present. This immense span of time is divided into 3 broad phases: the lower, the middle, and the upper Paleolithic. Tonight, we begin at the very beginning, the lower Paleolithic, a time when early human ancestors first shaped stone tools and learned to survive in changing, often harsh environments. Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and later Homo heidelbergensis walked across open savannas, along rivers, and through wooded landscapes. Their lives were focused on survival, finding food, seeking shelter, moving with the seasons. Stone hand axes, simple but elegant, appear again and again across Africa and later Eurasia, suggesting shared knowledge passed down through generations. But what of belief? What of spirituality? During this earliest phase, archaeology is quiet here, almost silent. There are no known burials, no carved symbols, no cave paintings, no objects clearly shaped for ritual. And yet, absence does not mean emptiness. These early humans lived deeply embedded in nature, dependent on animals, on weather, on fire, on the movement of the sun and moon. It is possible, and only possible, that their awareness of the world carried emotional weight, fear, awe, connection, long before formal belief systems existed. They watched lightning strike the earth, heard thunder roll across open plains, saw animals born and animals die. Whether these experiences formed proto-beliefs or remained instinctual responses is something archaeology cannot say. So we remain gentle here, careful, respectful of the silence. What we do know is that these early humans were not mindless. They learned, they taught, they adapted, and they cared for injured group members, Such care, even without ritual, suggests the slow emergence of empathy, the seed from which later spiritual ideas would grow. Let that thought drift through you like a slow cloud crossing an ancient sky. Now, let your mind move forward very gently into the Middle Paleolithic. The world has changed, ice ages come and go, and human forms diversify. Neanderthals live across Europe and Western Asia, while early Homo sapiens emerge in Africa and begin to spread outward. Stone tools become more refined, fires controlled with greater skill, and shelters are constructed with intention. And here, for the first time, archaeology begins to whisper. At sites dating roughly between 300,000 and 100,000 years ago, we find something new: burials, bodies placed in the ground, sometimes carefully positioned, sometimes accompanied by stone tools, animal bones, or traces of red ochre. One of the most discussed sites is Shanidar Cave in present-day Iraq. Here, Neanderthal remains were discovered, some showing signs of healing from severe injuries, suggesting long-term care by others. One individual, known as Shanidar IV, was found with pollen grains nearby, leading early researchers to suggest flowers were placed with the body. Later studies caution us the pollen may have arrived naturally, perhaps carried by rodents. And so, we do not claim certainty, but the burial itself remains. A body placed in the earth rather than abandoned is a meaningful act. Whether it reflects grief, respect, memory, or a belief in something beyond death, archaeology allows us only to observe, not to declare. Still, this is a threshold. Across multiple Middle Paleolithic sites, we see repeated burial behavior in both Neanderthals and early modern humans. Red ochre, a vivid mineral pigment, appears again and again, sprinkled on bones or used on objects. Ochre has no survival function on its own, but it holds visual power, the color of blood, of earth, of life. Its repeated use suggests symbolism, a shared meaning, even if that meaning is now lost. Let yourself imagine a quiet group gathered in low light, hands stained red with ochre, the air heavy with silence. Not belief as doctrine, but belief as feeling. Now let your thoughts drift forward once more to a remarkable turning point. Around 50,000 years ago, the archaeological record changes dramatically. This period, known as the Upper Paleolithic, marks an explosion of symbolic expression. Humans carve, paint, decorate, and bury with intention. Cave walls come alive, deep within caves, far from daylight. Images of animals emerge. At Chauvet Cave in France, lions, rhinos, horses, and bears move across stone surfaces, their forms layered and dynamic. At Lascaux, massive bulls and deer dominate vast chambers. At Altamira, bison appear to breathe beneath curved ceilings. Hands are stenciled, palms pressed against stone, sprayed with pigment, as if to say, "I was here." These images were not decoration for daily living spaces. They were created deep underground, in darkness, accessible only with firelight. This suggests intention, effort, and meaning beyond survival. Alongside cave art, small figurines appear, The Venus of Willendorf and other similar figures feature exaggerated forms, rounded hips, full breasts. Archaeologists cautiously suggest connections to fertility, to life, to continuity. But again, we remain gentle. We do not impose modern belief, only observe repeated patterns. What becomes clear is that Upper Paleolithic humans saw the world as alive with meaning. Animals were not just food, they were powerful, respected, perhaps feared, perhaps honored. This worldview is often described as animism, the idea that spirits or life forces exist in animals, plants, rocks, and natural places, not as organized religion, but as perception. Everything alive, everything connected. Let this thought drift slowly, like torchlight flickering on cave walls. In some cave art, we see something even more intriguing. Figures that are neither fully human nor fully animal. A body with antlers, a human form with the head of a bird, a figure mid-transformation. One well-known example comes from Les Trois Frères Cave, often called the Sorcerer. These images suggest altered states, visionary experiences, or symbolic transformation. Many archaeologists interpret this cautiously as early shamanic imagery. Shamanism, in its broadest sense, involves individuals entering trance states, often through rhythm, movement, or sensory deprivation, to connect with the spirit world. Deep caves with flickering firelight, echoing sounds, and isolation are powerful environments for altered perception. We cannot know what these people experienced, but the art suggests journeys beyond ordinary reality. Not belief as doctrine, but belief as experience, connection, transformation, communication with unseen forces. Let the images fade softly, like dreams dissolving before sleep. Now let us gather the threads, burials with grave goods, tools placed beside the dead, ornaments worn one last time, ochre staining bones, suggesting ritual preparation, beads made from shells, carried far from the sea, worn as identity or protection. These objects tell us that Upper Paleolithic humans thought beyond the present moment. They remembered, they honored, they marked transitions. Whether they believed in souls, or an afterlife, or cycles of rebirth, cannot be proven. But they clearly believed that death mattered, that life was part of something larger, and that meaning extended beyond the visible. Imagine now a small hunter-gatherer group moving through a familiar landscape. They know every river bend, every animal trail, every seasonal change. Hunting is dangerous and deeply respected. Animals provide food, tools, clothing, and survival. Many archaeologists suggest, based on later ethnographic parallels, that rituals of respect may have existed. Quiet moments after a hunt, offerings, gestures, thanks. Not domination, but relationship. Spirituality woven into daily life, not separate from it. The world is alive, and humans are part of it. As we come to the end of our journey tonight, let everything slow even more. These ancient beliefs or ways of seeing did not vanish. They echo in our sense of wonder, in our respect for nature, in the quiet feeling that life holds meaning beyond words. Under the same stars that Paleolithic humans gazed upon, we rest tonight. The fire has faded, the cave walls are silent, but the connection remains. Sleep now, peacefully, gently, under an ancient sky. Good night, and sleep well.